6 things I wish I knew as a beginner runner. And it has nothing to do with long runs. It has nothing to do with a training plan. It has nothing to do with how fast or how slow you run. There are 6 things that every runner should do and that they are easier than you think. The number 1 is that you can't beat consistency. I know when we are new to the sport, when we are new to anything for that matter, we are eager, we have all the energy in the world, and we believe that we can't have a shortcut to success, a shortcut to achieve our personal records, a shortcut to achieve our goals. But the truth is that there are no shortcuts. You can train more, but there's a point of diminishing returns. And when you start to do too much, you end up injury. And I'm the perfect example of that. I started doing triathlon seriously in 2014. And I was that guy that thought, I'm going to out-train all of my teammates, right? I'm going to swim more, I'm going to strength more, I'm going to bike more, I'm going to run more, faster, harder. There's a joke I have with my wife that says, today's a rest day. Oh, where's the rest day muscle and how can I train it, right? I was super grinding. And what happened? Just a few months after that, I got a super serious knee injury. 1 year later, and I ended up having knee surgery. And that taught me to be patient and that consistency can't be beaten. So if you are consistent year after year after year after year, believe me, you can become the runner you want to be and you can achieve any goal you want. I have this discussion with a few runners that, do you believe that any runner can be a sub 3 hour marathon runner? And I strongly believe that any runner can do it if they are consistent. Obviously, there are runners that are going to be able to achieve it maybe in a few months, and others it's going to take 10 years to get there because our abilities are different. But consistency will get you wherever you want. And the really cool thing is that the more consistent you are, things are going to start to get easier because all that work is going to start to compound, like compounding dividends into your success and your running fitness. Number 2 is that racing shoes really matter. And I'm not just talking about super shoes. I'm talking about having a specific pair of running shoes. And obviously, I was guilty of not doing this at the beginning. I have my Saucony Kinvaras. I love those shoes. I train in those shoes. People say that you don't need to try new things on marathon or on race day. And I wore out Kinvara shoes. And I had successful races, bad races, good races. But when I started to have a specific pair of racing shoes, everything started to feel easier on race day. Why? Because the foam, the quality of the shoe, you are just reserving that shoe for race, and it makes a huge difference. And sometimes it can be the same shoe that you use when you are training. For example, I changed from my Kinvaras. It was the 8s or the 7s at that point. Imagine how old or how long ago I was training. But I had my training Kinvaras and my racing Kinvaras. And my marathon started to feel easier. My 5Ks started to feel easier. And it's something I've learned over the years to have a few pairs. Now I have a few pairs of training shoes, but my super specific pair of racing shoes just reserved for that. And it can make a huge difference. And it's something I strongly recommend. And I wish I knew it sooner. Number 3 is that no matter where you are in your running journey, weekly mileage is king. The more you run, the faster you will improve. Yes, you have to add sometimes long runs or speed sessions or threshold runs, or tempo runs, recovery days, strength training. There are a lot of things you can add to your running arsenal, but the more you run, the faster you will improve. And it doesn't matter if you're training for a mile, a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, an ultra marathon. The more you run, the more you are going to improve. It took me a few years to learn this until again I got injured, right? This time it wasn't that serious of an injury. It was just some discomfort in my calf and in my Achilles, but that forced me to stop doing speed sessions. And when I wasn't able to do speed sessions, I started to run more because I had more energy, and suddenly my fitness just skyrocketed, and I ran marathons faster than ever, and I took that to heart, and I've been adding mileage year after year after year for a few years now, and I'm at 42. I'm the fittest I've ever been. Number 4 is that recovery is super important, and I think it goes to tip number 1, that consistency is king. To be consistent, you need to recover, and you can't get injured. And the number one way to don't get injured is to recover well from each one of your trainings. There's a saying that says that there's no point in doing a training session, a workout, if you are not going to be able to recover for that session. So I see some people that, for example, go on Thursday night to track session, to speed sessions, and they nailed it, and they are awesome, and they are super happy, and they don't miss their track session or their speed sessions on Thursdays. But then on Friday mornings, they do another workout, or they go to spinning classes, or they meet up with other friends to run more because it's their social part. And I understand the social part of running, but if you run Thursday night and you run again Friday morning, recovering for that workout is going to be really hard. And the other thing is what things you do after your workout, right? How much you rest, how well you eat, how well you hydrate. And it doesn't have to be really complicated things that you don't need to go get massages. You don't need to go do cold water therapy or cryotherapy. It's fuel well after your runs, hydrate a lot, try to sleep as much as you can. And I think that a lot of runners underestimate it's just being calm and easy during the day. The lower your heart rate is during the day, the better your life is going to go and the faster you are going to recover. So a lot of people have different strategies to recover better or faster. And this tip number 4 goes in pair with tip number 5, that it's talking about fueling and nutrition. I know a lot of runners run to lose weight, and it's perfectly fine. I've done it myself. Actually, I do it every time before a marathon. I want to be as lean as possible, but we have to do it in a very mindful and strategic way. We just can't go out to do a 28-kilometer long run and then cut our calories and consume only 1,500 calories during the day. Yeah, you're going to lose weight, but you're not going to be fueling properly. Your nutrition is not going to be on par. And what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to recover well, and you increase your chances of getting injured. The number one step in this 5th tip is to fuel. What do I mean by fuel? What do you eat before, during, and after your workout? And if you don't have a clue about that, we have a very comprehensive ebook that you can download. I'm going to put a link in the description. And the second part is your nutrition, right? How well you are nurturing your body daily. Are you eating too much cake, junk food, ice cream, and that kind of stuff? Or are you focusing on eating whole foods, fruits, veggies? I know this is one of the hardest one for me because I'm a terrible eater. I don't like fruits, I don't like veggies, but I've been very mindful to add some fruits in my breakfast and veggies in my lunch and veggies in my dinner. And my fitness has improved a lot just because of focusing on that. Number 6 is knowing your paces. Why? Because you see a lot of things in social media about going slow. Okay, going slow. Run slow to run fast, run slow to run fast. And then you need to do your speed sessions. You need to go to track session. And all of this is true as long as you know your true paces. What does slow means to you and what does fast means to you? There's a very easy 6-minute time trial that you can do. I'm going to link the video in the description also that you can watch to specifically know your VVO2 max, know your paces, and nail all your workouts. Once you are confident with your current fitness level, what are the speed or the paces you need to train for easy runs, threshold runs, tempo runs, long runs, etc., 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 everything starts to click. And what do you think is going to happen? You're going to recover better because you're not overexerting yourself, or you're not going too slow. You're going to be able to add more mileage, and all of the tips we've been talking about today are going to start to click and to make a lot of sense. So those are the 6 tips I wish I knew as a beginner runner, tips that I still apply today, tips that I remember or try to remember every time, because every time I need to be on top of my nutrition, on top of my fueling, remembering about my mileage, remember that consistency is going to be key, that I need to my ratios and everything. It's made my running so much easier, so much faster, and I hope it can do the same for you. And don't forget to watch the next video of the series here if you want to learn more how to improve as a runner.